Good morning. We are extremely pleased that you are here. It's good to come together for the purpose of co-creating. Do you agree? You're knowing what you're wanting, mostly. You are enjoying the evolution of your desire. You like those unfulfilled desires? The correct answer is yes, especially. Especially. You're enjoying that fresh feeling of something new pulsing within you. And now you are coming to understand that there are no limits, that anything that you ask for is always given. Then there is no reason to feel uncomfortable about an unfulfilled desire, because every desire must begin somewhere and must continue to expand. And isn't it fun to experience the expansion? Isn't it fun to let the contrast help you to decipher? Isn't it fun to sift through it and come to your own individual conclusions? And isn't it fun to see how with each new idea and each, we like to say, amendment to your own idea of what you want, universal forces come into place in order to comply. Do you realize that? Do you know that anything you ask for, source energy hears and answers, no exceptions, that there is nothing ever that anyone could ever ask for that is not lined up, organized, and delivered for you? You say, I am the creator of my own experience. And we say, yes, you are the creator of your own experience, but what you really are is the decider of what you would like your own experience to be. Law of attraction is the engine, so to speak. In other words, there are all kinds of things that make it possible for you to be the creator of your own experience, but you are not the engine in your machine. When you get into your automobile, you just point it, hopefully, in the direction you want to go, and off you go. And there is so much more about the experience than what you are doing. But we don't feel you lamenting the fact that you're not under the hood pulling pistons and belts. In other words, you don't feel like you need to do all of that. You know that your part is to direct it. And that really is what your part is as the creator of your own experience. You are the director of your experience. You are the one who decides. And so once you decide, source energy answers every time. When you ask, it is given. That would make a very good title for a book. When you ask, it is always given. When you ask, it is always given every single time, no exceptions. The title is getting longer and longer. No matter what you ask for, whenever you ask for it, whatever it is you are asking for is given to you every single time. There are no exceptions to that. Now it is too long, isn't it? So when you realize that it is given, then some, especially if you are new to what you are hearing here, some say, well, Abraham, there is really something screwy with your reasoning, because I am certain that I have asked for many things that have not shown up in my experience. So there is something that is wrong with your philosophy. And we say, well, there is a little catch. And that is, you must be in vibrational alignment with what you are asking for. When you ask for something, when you say, I would really like more money, but then all day, every day, you notice you don't have enough money, you are not exactly a vibrational match to more money coming into your experience. It's like setting your radio dial on 98.6 and then complaining that you can't hear what's being broadcast on 101. And with radios, you understand it. You say, I have a means of knowing that I am on the right frequency, and so I make my frequencies match, and then I receive through my receiver what is being broadcast. I get to decide, and it is exactly the same way. So when you are disappointed, you're not doing that. When you are feeling frustrated, you're not doing that. When you are feeling like justifying why things aren't going well, when you are making excuses, anytime you're pointing at what is, you are a vibrational match to what is. So if what is really, really good, then give your undivided attention to it, and it will continue to be what is. And you'll say, oh, isn't what is wonderful? But if there is something missing in what is, something that you would like, or if there's something present in what is that you would like to release, then you have to adjust your vibration about it, which means you have to take your attention away from things you do not want and put them on things you do want. And the better you get at that, then the more your life reflects what you want. But there is one more little thing that we should bring up, and that is it will continue to evolve. You will never reach the place. It would truly be what death is, and there is not any of that. You will never reach the place where you will say, there, no new desires are now being born within me. I am now the recipient, in full receipt, of everything that I've ever wanted. That will never happen. Because with each idea and each subsequent allowing in of the manifestation of what you want, you also achieve a new perspective, a whole new set of vibrational offerings from which to choose. And so the expansion continues in your life experience and in the universal experience. It is through you and those like you that this universe expands. You said, I would like to go forth in this time-space reality on what is truly the leading edge of thought. And I would like to explore the contrasting experience, the variety. I'd like to explore it. And I would like to feel my personal preferences born there. And as my preferences are born, I know that source energy will hear them, even those unspoken ones, even those that are cellular. Every request is granted. And every point of consciousness continually makes requests. And so the universe continues to expand, whether you know it or not. You're not ever going to be able to stop perceiving. And as long as you're perceiving, preferences are going to be born within you. And as long as preferences are born within you, source energy is going to answer those preferences. So what we're really saying, we may not have ever said it this clearly to you before. It's really worthwhile to get in alignment with the flow. Because you came forth, tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You came forth as genius creators intending to create magnificently. And we're not talking about lining up a bunch of physical stuff, but that could be fun. We're not talking about building empires or controlling the world, although that can be fun too. We're talking about you standing where you stand, letting the contrast around you help you to conclude what matters to you, and then you finding a way to vibrationally align with what matters to you so that you can experience the blissful experience of watching the universe knock itself out to line up circumstances and events to accommodate you. That's just the way it works. So, we call this gathering the art of allowing because it speaks more clearly to what your role is. For a while we called it the science of deliberate creation, but you all got so heavy-handed with that. We said the basis of life is freedom, and expansion is natural. In other words, growth will happen. And if you keep your eye on the feeling of joy, then everything unfolds. So the triad is freedom and growth and joy. And you said, yes, growth, growth, growth. And we said, yes, growth, of course, but freedom and growth and joy. And you said, yes, growth, growth, growth. So we changed the name because you were working so hard at the science of deliberate creation that you were missing the point that mattered the most, which is relaxing and letting the well-being in that you deserve, the well-being that is your legacy. So we like to explain to you that you are extensions of source energy and that you deserve it. You are worthy of it. All of you, no matter what. And that what you're doing right now with your thought, which is what is generating the vibrational frequency within you, is what is allowing or disallowing the connection. So it doesn't matter what you did yesterday or the day before. It doesn't matter what you did last year. The only thing that matters is what you're doing right now. Right now, where all of your power is, where the juncture between who you really are and who you are is, this is where all of your power is. So that's why you want to pay attention to the way you feel, because the way you feel is letting you know what you're doing with your vibration. There are so many emotions, and different people use different words, sometimes meaning the same thing. Words are a little tricky because everyone does not agree on how the meaning of that word actually feels. So it's not so important that you get too involved in the meaning of the words that revolve around emotions. But we will be talking about them today because it gives us a starting point